I really do feel self-defense is on trial right now.
It is. It is with Kyle. If he does not walk, if he takes charges, this is literally a sign saying you cannot defend yourself, because this is the most clear-cut self-defense case I could imagine. There's a million video, different, all kinds of angles of what's going on. This guy, he could not have presented himself in a better way. He couldn't have been there in such a perfect line of actions. He was there earlier that day cleaning up graffiti. He was there helping people. He works in the city of Kenosha. He's not just there to join
He crossed state lines. It was not even a 20-minute drive.
He works in the city as a lifeguard, like
upstanding citizen, this guy.
Boy Scout. He's like, I don't know if he's actually a Boy Scout, but like the word Boy Scout, if you're ever going to apply it, he's a Boy Scout. He's better than all of us. He's better than me. I will say that. I will say he's better than me. You know, he went there to go help people, protect other people's property. If he doesn't get off for this, and so far watching the trial on Nick Rekieta's show and on our show, we followed it today. It's the defense game to lose. It's their game to lose at this point, because
it's true.
The prosecution has nothing that you can tell. He's just
they have something. They have a big a-hole.
Oh yeah, they have that.
Goodness sakes. We'll talk about that guy because I feel like he deserves his own discussion.
Little Binger.
Little Binger, yeah. I'll bring up that. Did you see the tweet I just popped up on the screen?
Oh yes.
Look at this. In reality, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. I mean, it's classic. It was a Trump face before, but it's the same. It's they're not after, and it's not you. It's self-defense in general. It's you can't defend yourself. They want to push their agenda, and it's happening. And this is not about Kyle at all. It's so obvious that he was defending himself, that he really did not want to kill anybody. And he stated that multiple times today, especially because today the guy kept pressuring him like, but you didn't get shot. No one shot you. Well, yeah, because he defended himself.
I stopped the gun from literally in the motion of going to my head. I stopped him.
Yes.
With deadly intent.
Yeah.
With intent to stop. That what he repeated it with intent to stop. Oh, so you shot it, you intend to kill. No, to stop, because he was actively attacking me.
Yes.
Rosenbaum actively chasing him. He tried to go into this thing saying that, well, you didn't know where this gunshot came from, and that's why you shot him. And that's not, you can't kill Rosenbaum because somebody else shot a gun.
Yeah.
He turned around, and the dude was close enough to touch his gun. He burned marks on his hand because he grabbed Kyle's gun. And that's attacking, dude. If you're chasing somebody, throwing things at you, yelling, I'm going to kill you.
Said it. He said it.
He said it.
Rosenbaum said it. This is what pisses me off about the prosecution. It's almost as if he wanted to ignore the fact that Rosenbaum said, if I catch any of you alone, I'm going to effing kill you. Rosenbaum said that earlier on in the night. Kyle didn't mention it.
He wants to go back in Kyle's past and figure out what's going on in Kyle's head 15 days before the events.
Right.
Come on.
Sure.
It
doesn't matter. Kyle was there that night. He heard Rosenbaum say it. He didn't ask Rosenbaum he didn't ask Rittenhouse. Well, do you remember when, did you recall Rosenbaum saying he was going to effing kill you? Did you hear the prosecution ask that? No. I don't think so. Yeah, because they don't want to remind the jury that Rittenhouse probably heard the fact that Rosenbaum wanted to catch any of them up. If I catch any of you alone, I'm going to effing kill you. He said that. Okay.
And what's really great is, this whole situation is horrible, but
correct.
What is a good setup is that Kyle had so many opportunities. If they wanted to paint Kyle as a killer, as somebody that went out they were hunting. You've heard this all over social media and mainstream news and all over the place. He went out there to find trouble. He was hunting people down. He had
the opposite.
So many opportunities to do that.
Yep. Agreed.
Rosenbaum said multiple times, "I'm going to effing kill you," before he was chased by Rosenbaum. Only at the moment where he gunshots, turns around, grab gun, chasing you, naked crazy man saying, "I'm going to effing kill you." At that point, pop, pop.
Yep.
Reasonable. And then again, he is chased.
Agreed.
He's chased away, chased down by people, does not open fire. He has a gun. He's not opening fire. He turns around. He falls down, hit by a skateboard, kicked in the head.
Yep.
Every single instance of him firing a shot is justified on video, clearly justified.
Yep.
I don't know what you do with that. Like,
and well, what the prosecution did was they took one clip out of that video and said, well, look, in this image, you're pointing the gun at him. And Rittenhouse was like, actually, I'm lowering the gun in that moment. And they were like, yeah, but here you're clearly pointing it at him. And so therefore it proves that he thought you were the threat. So he was defending himself. It's like, no, Rittenhouse just said he was
when
lowering.
He chased him down. Like when
exactly.
He chased me down. Was he?
No one said that.
Then?
This is what pisses me off. The defense was sleeping. And it's like, how can you not stand up and be like, he was being chased? How is he trying to flip it when Rittenhouse was trying to leave? He was running away from these people who were chasing him and on video were yelling, get him.
Yeah. And he was asked on video again. It's all documented. It's all on video.
It's all on video
before he was shot. Before he shot, what is it? Grosskreutz, the bicep guy. Before he shot him, he was asked by bicep guy, what are you doing? What happened? He said, "I'm going to the cops. I'm going to the cops."
Yep.
Then he said, "Get his ass." Then pile on, kick him in the head, skateboard, pull a gun on him, run up on. It's so clear cut. It's insane. But the prosecution, they know that they don't have a case. They have nothing. That's why they're drawing this out. They're pulling out witnesses. They pulled the ballistics expert 2 days ago to talk about rounds and how they work and stuff. Regardless, none of that stuff matters. What matters is what's on that video. Let's watch the entire clip. Was he being beaten in the head, chased, attacked? Yes.
Yep.
We're done.
We're done. The trial is to prove whether or not it was self-defense. And they need to prove that it wasn't self-defense because from what I've seen, it is self-defense. I knew that the next day, that night, I was, I've been in the news for well over a year, and this happened over a year ago.
I'm
12 months,
sure
14 months ago.
We covered it live whenever.
I'm sure you guys did.
Not that night because we weren't streaming at that night.
Right.
But the day before, we covered it that morning after, and it was pretty clear. All the evidence was out. That's why whenever you see these people like the Young Turks coming out and saying, "Well, we didn't know, we were misled." It's
bullshit.
It's bullshit. The film was all out, all of the angles that night. The
only
thing that we didn't have was the FBI drone footage, and that's
how the heck how did they have drone footage of the situation?
Why were they there?
Where's this drone?
Why were they pointing right there?
Right. None of that makes any sense.
Two different drone footage,
dude. It's just what is that? It doesn't make any sense at all. Why do they have drone footage? So the prosecution basically was saying, well, you didn't get shot dead though, so technically your life wasn't in danger. Did you get shot?
How did you know he was going to pull the trigger when he put the gun to your head? Who knows?
Huh? No, you didn't get shot. Well, what were you thinking when you were standing over Rosenbaum's dead body? Do you remember? Did you hear him say that? Because not once did Kyle Rittenhouse stand over Rosenbaum's body, but for some reason the defense found no reason to object to that. Excuse me, object. He never sat over or stood over his body. He turned around, stopped him from attacking him, and continued to try to leave the situation. Oh, you tried to leave? So you're a medic, aren't you? You claim to be a medic? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, why didn't you? There was a hospital across the street. Why didn't you perform medic duties on this guy that just tried to kill you, that you defended yourself against? Where is the objection to all of these things, to this prosecution? Now,
Kyle provided assistance all that night leading up to the events. then you question why he didn't stop and give aid to the people that were
trying to kill
hitting
you.
him into
Trying
it,
to kill him.
trying to kill him, hitting him in the head, kicking him in the face. And there's still a crowd forming.
Right. Exactly.
There's still people there, still running down the street at him.
He just shot him.
What do you want him to do? Stop and go,
get him.
Let me wrap up your head.
Yeah.
No,
let me try to save
leaving.
you while there's these other people that could potentially have weapons. He doesn't know. Well, did he have a chain on him? Did he have a knife? I don't know. It doesn't matter. He was coming at me.
If Kyle stopped to give aid, then the prosecution could build a case where, well, then you didn't feel that afraid for your life if you could stop and give aid.
Yep.
No, he had to leave because he was afraid for his life because people were hitting him in the head. You're a skateboarder. Trucks to the back of the head? That's absolutely terrifying. I've had a friend whenever I was a teenager that just fell when he was in one of those big sumo wrestler blow up things.
Yeah.
He fell on the back of his head.
Yeah.
In a coma and passed away. So that's how easily it's very sad. But that's how easily you can die from a head injury.
Yep.
That easily.
He could have been killed by that when he did get hit with the skateboard. Because for those who don't know, it's on video that Kyle actually did get hit. It basically hit him right on the back of the neck. It could have severed his spine. It could have done some serious damage and paralyzed him. And guess what? Kyle defended himself and shot that guy dead. And I do not blame him at all. Zero. No. Not one bit do I blame him for doing what he did.
I understand if he feels sorry and sad about it. It makes sense. You ended a life.
And he does.
Horrible. He does. He
does feel bad about it.
But he should not feel like he is responsible because they are responsible.
You're absolutely right. Down. That is a great point.
They did that.
And Kyle, you should know that it is not your fault. They chose to attack you. I doubt he's going to watch my show, but you never know. If this does come to him, I hope he knows that it wasn't his fault and he was defending himself, and it's in his right to do so because he was absolutely attacked.
God-given right to go protect your city that you work and live in. Well, you don't live in, but you work. You spend most of your time, right? Your waking hours. You go to this city. Your friends live there. It's 20 minutes from here. I live 20 minutes. Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is your right as a citizen of the United States of America, of the world, to protect your property, anybody's property that you think is being destroyed. He was just there to help others. That's what's he was there to help others.
Yeah.
And he gets attacked and just run through the coals for a year.
And then the prosecution,
being a good guy,
they try to make it seem like he suddenly has no morals after he shoots somebody to not go help them. Oh, well, you claim you're here to help, but then when you actually shot that person, you didn't help them.
You didn't render aid then.
How did you not render aid?
Hours later, there's footage, dude. There's footage of him putting his hands up, going to the police. He said he's going to the police. Dude, there's so much footage. It's like, how do you blatantly lie like that and not just objection?
Yep.
Objection. I don't know what the defense is planning here with this not objecting to stuff.
It's crazy.
Clearly,
dude.
you need to object.
Here's this. Someone responded to Jack Posobiec's. So Binger is the prosecutor. He's grade A-hole. He says, all he had was a handgun. Why would you think he's a threat? You had an AR-15. Can you help me understand that? Kyle responds with, he was advancing at me with a gun in his hand. Yeah. Well, and then, of course, you're just going to shoot us after he tried to attack you? Yes. And then, of course, that is Exhibit. This is such a great depiction.
Your Honor, Exhibit A.
Hello. And then he even says, it's like, I didn't want to shoot him. Constantly, the prosecution was trying to get this gotcha moment with Kyle. Like, oh, finally got you. You did want to kill him. But Kyle was calm, and it was very obvious. He was just recollecting as it happened. He just shot someone. He didn't want to. He's like, well, how did you not remember these perfect details when someone asked you 2 minutes after you just shot and killed someone? Because he was probably distressed. He didn't have ear protection on. He couldn't hear the other shots. He kept trying to get this gotcha thing, but Kyle was like, I didn't want anyone to kill me. Period. That's what he kept saying. I just didn't want him to keep coming at me.
I didn't want to die. Is that
I didn't want to die. Yeah.
thing?
How dare you want to not die? You should have let them kill you and beat you up. They were just going to beat you up.
You can never know if they're going to pull the trigger until they pull the trigger. So you
exactly. Well, you're still alive, aren't you? So clearly your life wasn't in that much danger. Yeah, because he stopped them from killing him.